I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. When I removed the motor, the pulley no longer covered that hole, and I recognized that this guard was loose because that bolt was broken. Somebody tried to drill it out, but they didn't do a very good job. And hopefully I'm going to be able to drill and tap that hole for ⅛ bolt. We'll see. That bolt that's in there is partly blocking the hole, so I don't know if it's going to work. If it won't, I'll have to drill it out to the next larger size, which is 5/16. And that's a pretty good size hole to be sticking into something that supports the motor. So let's try this. I'm going to deburr it and chamfer the opening. Now I'm going to spray it with some of this stuff so I can drill that hole out. Well, that's what I was afraid was going to happen. Yeah. That hole with the broken bit of bolt in it opened up. So I'm going to have to drill that out to ⅛ inch and then tap it to 5/16. I hope I can drill it out to ⅛ inch. Hope there's enough meat in there to do that. Well, it's ⅛ inch already. Let's see, will the 5/16 drop into there? Hate to have to go out to 3/8. No. Well, a ⅛ inch drill will go in there. That is the tap drill size for a 5/16. I'm going to need to get a 5/16 tap and tap that hole. Let's hope it works. When I drilled out the bolt that went in there and it was broken off, I used a tap drill for a ⅛20, thinking that I could tap that out. Well, drilling it, the bolt spun right on through. And now, a ⅛20 tap falls right into the hole. I said, well, that's not good. Because a ⅛ inch drill is a pretty close fit. I thought, well, I gotta drill it out and tap it to 5/16, thinking I might be able to get a little bit of thread in there. Well, when I put the tap in here and began to run the tap into the hole, it wasn't cutting threads, it was following them quite nicely. No effort at all, just spun in. That means that there's good threads in there. And there's good 5/16 18 threads in there. This is the conundrum of metric tools. Did somebody break that off and then drill it out and thread it to 5/16? I don't know. If they did, they drilled it out, threaded it to 5/16, and then put another bolt in there and broke that bolt too. So what could be the cause of breaking two bolts? There's nothing that hits that part. See how that bolt goes right in there nicely? Now I was kind of concerned that maybe it was going to strip out. Nope. That's a half-inch wrench. It's loose on this. That's a metric bolt. This is definitely an imperial bolt. I just put it in there. 5/16, 18. It fits. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm happy. Now we come around to the motor mount, and I can remove most of this stuff from the playing field. Nice having mobile workbenches. You can put them up and move them around wherever I need them. Now this bolt goes on the end where the pulley is. Flip this up. Set it here so that I can start the bolts. This block was down at this end of the threaded hole. And I got to thinking about it as I was putting it back together again. That belt acts like it's too long. But if I slide this further back, so that the motor is further away from the counter shaft, then this will in effect allow for the longer belt. It also will add to the amount of weight put onto the belt holding it in position. In other words, tightening up the tension on the belt. I don't see that as being a difficulty, so that's what I'm going to do. Cold out here in the garage. It's about 44, 45 degrees because I can't see my breath, but it is definitely cold. motor doesn't fall on the floor, I will. Yesterday it was warm enough, up above 50, that I came out and put some touch-up paint on the parts that I was going to assemble. Let's see how the belt works. Oh, look at that! That's an improvement. This fits now. The motor was hanging down below the belt guard quite a bit. Cool. Okay, we got the guard mounted and we got the motor mounted. That is a pretty good job. Both of them much quicker than I thought they would be. Now I have to hook up the wiring and then run a test on that motor to make sure it's going to work. I know it does work because I tested it in the basement. I'm going to get some ring clips, terminal ends for those wires, run them up through, put terminal ends on them, tighten those connectors, and put actual tape, complete wraps, not this little bit of red tape that was on there before. Make sure all the bolts, screws, nuts, and washers are tight, because this wasn't tight before, and I don't understand that, but that's okay. All right. Gaining ground by leaps and bounds. Kind of nice to show the tools that I've been using on it, and since I did that on the last one, I think I'm going to try and continue. We have the guard mounted and the motor mounted, so this is a good day. Going to get around and do the wiring on this thing, and then it'll be actually ready to cut. It just needs the bottom blade guide, which is going to be a much more involved project. I got to clean it, and then I got to build the jigs to put it together. I'm thinking just a couple of plates of steel with some holes in it and some bolts just to hold it in alignment while I get it put together. But we'll see how that goes. If you have any suggestions for new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.